Classic dropping a quick car vlog. I'm on the way to work. Hope you guys are having a blessed morning, evening, afternoon, nights, whatever time zone you're at. We got love from around the world. Nobody tells you, remember that God loves you, Christ loves you, and I love you as well. I'm praying for you guys. You guys are all my family in my heart. So I am praying for you guys. I am praying that you guys go to the Father through the Son, which is Christ, who died for our sins, gave us an opportunity to living in eternity and, to live right. So, and to seek eternal salvation. That's the goal. Love y'all. Make sure you subscribe to the Take It Home podcast, where I talk about professional wrestling topics. And I put in my matches as Classic Alpha, a professional wrestler of 13 years. 10 o'clock today, 10 a.m. will be the premiere of Classic Alpha versus Joey Blues that happened at Fab Wrestling's No Mercy in December. That happened this Sunday. It's a Sunday show, so make sure you watch the show. Watch the match. Make sure you subscribe, comment. Make sure you talk about what you liked about the match and everything like that. Let's watch it. Let's see what you guys think about that. Also, make sure you subscribe to C3 Ultimate Wrestling. That is me and my wife's professional wrestling company. We have all of our shows on the YouTube page, so you can enjoy it. Make sure you also get ready for February 21st, 2026. That's Big Business, B-I-G Business, Dyer, Indiana, Harold's private venue. Tickets are on sale on Eventbrite right now, and they're $5 off on Eventbrite. So get that sweet, sweet deal. There'll be $5 more at the door of bars. God bless you, Raphael. God bless you. I hope everything is going great in your life. And if it is not, I am praying that you continue to press on. God bless. John Cena's last match is among us, y'all. It's among us, y'all. And he's going against Gunther. And Gunther has, had a great WWE career so far. He's had great championship runs. He's had great matches. I love the old school aesthetic of Gunther because it works. Just like how Timeless Tony Storm worked as like the black and white and the stuff like that and the old school stuff. It works. The old school stuff works. Both of those wrestlers, I can say that their characters and their personas worked. So when people would be like, oh, well, that would never get over, that would never work, that just shows that people just didn't want to accept that old school still rules. I should put that on the shirt. Yeah, it's dark. They like saving, the sun come out when it wants to. I don't know if they paid the sun this morning to come out or not, but it might be arriving late. I don't know, but yeah, it's definitely morning time. But still, they both show that old school is still cool, and I like that. So shout out to them. More so Gunther than Tony, but still. So Gunther cut a promo saying that basically he's gonna squeeze the life out of John Cena, like his wrestling career. He's gonna make him give up. Because he never gives up. I know he said like he never gives up. I know he's not talking about like stuff that happened way earlier in John Cena's career. We talked about that last week. But still, so a lot of people are like, well, yep, it looks like John Cena is going to tap out in his final match and say he give up because it's just, this is his final match, his final year. Now, if it does happen, I can understand it or whatever. If it doesn't happen and even if he wins the match and turns around and says, hey, never give up. Remember to never give up. I'm sure they are debating on how they're going to do this stuff. I just know they are. But still, if he does tap, wow, Cena is retired. It's crazy. Feels like, yeah, it does. I remember all of that stuff. But if John Cena taps out in his final match, I hope it sets a precedent for not only WWE, but AEW and the independent scene where I reside. I truly do. I've talked about it many a times. Sean has talked about it many a time. Yella has talked about it many a times. Other channels have talked about it many a times, to where wrestlers who have submissions, their submissions look weak for the most part. Most of these people's submissions look weak because their opponent does not tap out. They pass out. So wrestling is a blend of creativity and reality. So when you look at an MMA match, or if you look at trading, you look at sparring, you look at fighting, somebody is putting somebody in a submission. They're either tapping or they're napping way quicker than wrestlers are. way quicker. So like the struggle of a submission and the person's trying to grab the rope, so they're rolling around and stuff, and then they just pass out. It makes finishers, especially submissions, weak. Not sitting here saying that as soon as it's locked in, you got to tap, but at the same time, you can do that. Sometimes in MMA and other stuff, if somebody is about to put an arm bar, somebody's going to tap because they know their arm's going to break or they know it's going to hurt. So I feel like if the person who says never gives up actually gives up in the match because he's in pain, then that everybody else should follow suit. Now, I will say that WWE for the most part has done a great job with people tapping out, right? I know Sheamus tapped out this year. I know Javon Evans tapped out. Like some people have tapped out through certain moves and stuff like that. But still, I think we need to make it a little bit more common. I know that Jon Moxley is in his I'm going to give back to wrestling tour where he's tapping out to Kyle O'Reilly and stuff like that. But honestly, you know, I do understand the struggle part of, oh, okay, it's a championship match or it's a special match, but everybody does not need to tap out. And I've been saying this stuff for years. I mean, if he taps, and that's fine, you know what I'm saying? But still, what's going on, Brittany? But still, I do think the precedent of wrestling is, oh, well, I don't need to tap out. I just need to pass out. Like, I remember when Brock and Cody Rhodes faced each other. I want to say, was it the second time? And Brock attacked Cody's wrist. And when he attacked the wrist, Cody had a sling on. And when Cody had a sling on, he was using it at first, but then Brock started targeting the arm. So then the end of the Cody in the Kimura lock, and instead of Cody just, I don't know, tapping because his arm and wrist is messed up, he passed out from an armbar. Now I understand that wrestling and stuff can give you excruciating pain, right? I understand that, but at the same time, when you sit there and it's like, oh, well, I'm not going to tap out, and honestly, a guy who was an MMA fighter and whose head choked out a couple people, whatever like that, and knocked them out, made it look weak because he didn't tap out. He just passed out. Like, come on, man. That's just an example. Like, I've just seen so much stuff like, okay, people pass out. Like, even Gunther, right? Gunther tapped out to when Jey Uso put him in his own move, the sleeper move, right? And then when they ran it back on Raw, Gunther put Jey in his move, and Jey just passed out after being in it for so long. So these are the kind of things that I'm saying about like how important it is. So if a lot of people, because sometimes people give tributes to wrestlers, right? They'll be like, oh, okay, well, we're going to honor you. We're going to call this show this. We're going to acknowledge the greatness and stuff like that. If you want to honor John Cena by speaking about him and stuff like that, and if he does tap, and even if he doesn't tap, let's just do stuff better as far as submission holds go. You know what I'm saying? Like Kurt Angle's ankle lock, right? The way he had it seemed like one of the most devastating finishes ever. But I do think around that time, that was when a lot of people was doing the struggle of, oh, I'm going to reach for the rope. Oh, he's, oh, I'm going to do this and stuff. Oh, I'm going to kick him off, and he's going to hold on to it and still apply pressure to the ankle. Oh, but then to Kurt in their point, when Kurt would drag you from trying to grab the ropes and grapevine it, you knew you was about to tap out. But still, I don't think submissions have to be that long to be applied for somebody to be like, you know what, I'm just going to tap out. Javon Evans tapped out to Gunther too. Took forever, but Gunther put Goldberg in it. Goldberg passed out. So, Goldberg passed out also to Roman Reigns when he put him in a guillotine. So, yeah, if Cena sets the precedent, let's do it like that. And even if you don't want to say it's a tribute to Cena, like, let's just do that. Like I've said, I've been to shows where people are like, oh, I just want to pass out. You make the move look super weak, y'all. It does. It makes it look weak, especially if it's the first match on the card or whatever like that, or there's nothing to fight for. It makes it look weak. Second match, Night of Champions. Okay. Yeah, second match. Okay, appreciate you. Yeah, he should have tapped. Cody should have tapped. Like, it's understandable, too. He injured your wrist. You came in with a messed up wrist. So why didn't you tap out to a Kimura that targets your wrist, that targets your arm and stuff, instead of just passing out? Because you want to know how stupid it looked? Because he was literally just sitting on your backside, just sitting up like this, like I'm sitting, and had your arm behind you. You just tapped out. I mean, you just passed out and you look stupid. Come on, man. It's believable. Brock was an MMA fighter. He does this stuff. He trained this stuff. He trained in grappling. He was a collegiate wrestler. He was amateur wrestler. He did all of this stuff. And the fact that it was just a struggle that, like, it took you forever to just pass out. Come on, man. Because there was a time where Cena was on the pass out tour. I remember when Rusev put him in the Accolade and John Cena passed out, and then people was like, oh, Rusev, he beat Cena, which he did. But still, it wasn't like a big prestigious thing. You just made the guy pass out. He never gave up, apparently, the never give up moniker. And I get it, because sometimes the main eventers and the legends and stuff like that, it becomes a time to where they rarely tap out. You could probably count on one finger how many times Stone Cold tapped out, how many times The Rock tapped out, Hulk Hogan tapped out. Heck, even John Cena at this point, because they've done it early in their career, or they was putting over Kurt Angle with certain things. But it's rare now. You get what I'm saying? And that's just one of those things that happen. They always protecting Cody, and they didn't need to protect Cody at that time. This is Brock Lesnar. This is the official final boss. I know The Rock calls himself the final boss, but this is Brock Lesnar. This is a guy that y'all had, quote unquote, break Triple H and Shawn Michaels' arm when he was feuding with Triple H and stuff. This is the guy that y'all had do that. That guy dang near looks in better shape, even back then, than what he did when he faced Cody. When he faced Cody, he looked in better shape than what he was doing back then when he was facing Triple H and doing that stuff to Shawn Michaels. I'm just saying, I do hope that does happen. If John Cena taps, people should be like, hey, if the guy who never gives up actually gives up in a move that's supposed to actually like make you either pass out or pass away, because it's a chokehold, so you're losing oxygen to your brain and all of that stuff, then yeah, why can't everybody else follow suit? Every submission don't need to be minutes of a struggle, because honestly, as a wrestler, and even as a person that does I feel like do stories and stuff like that, if it takes person a long time to tap out to my submission finisher, why I'm going to do something else? Why don't I do something else? It's time to do something else. Oh, they're not tapping out to this. And even then, which is what I love about Gunther, there was a few times he'll put you in a sleeper and then set you up for the power bomb. And I actually love that too. I love that. Because to me, it shows why he calls himself the ring general. Oh, this person still has life in them. Let me give them a power bomb and take them out of their misery. Either apply the submission back or pin them after that, because they're woozy from the sleeper hold. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody does not need to pass out. If everybody just passes out instead of tapping out, then what's the point of the submission? It's not special anymore. I'll say it. It's equivalent to almost everybody kicking out of those false finishes. It's very equivalent, but it's highly unnecessary. But still, just made it to work. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. But what do you guys think about it? Do you guys think that, like, if he taps, that it should change? I think it should have been changed. But let me know your thoughts. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.